Okay, let's just dive right in. We're unpacking something huge today, something that I think most of us interact with almost daily.
Dating apps.
Dating apps, exactly. And we're talking about a landscape that has just completely changed how people connect.
It's not a niche thing anymore, is it? It's really the norm. You have to stop thinking of this as some kind of side activity.
Right.
I mean, it's a fundamental economic and social structure now. Some of the data suggests that around 30% of new marriages in the U.S. start online.
30%.
Yeah.
And the scale is it's immense. I was looking at the numbers, and by the end of 2019, we were already talking about over 200 million active users.
Globally. So this isn't just a few people swiping on their phones. This is a global movement. It's shaping partnerships. It's shaping how entire generations interact with each other.
So that's our mission for this deep dive. We really want to get past the surface level frustration, the endless swiping.
And look at the machinery underneath.
Yep. Yeah. The core business strategies, the psychology, which is frankly fascinating, of the gender dynamics.
And often very challenging. And also the specific design choices that make these things work or not work or lead to total burnout.
And that really gets to the core paradox we're going to explore, right? The central tension. On one hand, these apps are sold to us as tools for empowerment, for finding connection, but on the other...
Businesses, multi-billion-dollar businesses, and they are optimized for engagement, for keeping you on the app.
So there's this built-in conflict, isn't there, between helping you find the one and making sure you keep paying them to keep looking. It's coded right in.
It is. So if you really look at the history here, the source materials shows a really clear pattern.
Okay.
The apps that really succeeded, they didn't just, build a better mousetrap. They didn't just improve on what came before.
Like a bettermatch.com or something.
They won by, you could call unbundling the dating experience. They carved out these super specific niche verticals.
So they find one specific painful problem and promise to solve it.
Precisely. For a very specific group of users.
And I think the most famous example of that has to be Bumble, right? They built their whole brand around that female-first approach.
The women make the first move rule.
In heterosexual matches, yeah.
And that was such a powerful move back in 2014. It was a direct answer to a huge problem.
Harassment.
The constant unsolicited messages women were getting on other platforms. So by giving women control over who starts the conversation, Bumble was trying to create a safer, more respectful space.
And they even used that bright yellow color, right? That hashtag FFC629. It's all about warmth and positivity.
Reinforcing that mission. It's brilliant branding.
But I guess the real question is, does a design choice like that actually change how people behave? Or is it just, smart marketing?
Oh, I think it changes the experience in a big way. For men, especially. Well, it forces you to be more intentional with your profile, doesn't it? You can't just rely on sending out 100 generic hey messages. You have to actually present yourself well enough to get that first message.
So it raises the bar a little.
It does. And for women, it's a filter. A really powerful one. You only talk to the people you're actually interested in. It just cuts through so much of the noise.
Okay, so from empowerment to intentionality, let's talk about Hinge.
Hinge. Their tagline is just a masterclass in positioning.
The dating app designed to be deleted.
It speaks directly to everyone who is just so tired of the game, so burned out.
People who actually want a long-term relationship.
Exactly. And they moved away from that superficial fast swipe by making you engage more. You have to answer prompts, you have to look at a whole profile.
And those voice prompts, I have to say, people have very strong feelings about the voice prompts.
They're divisive for sure.
Some people find them really charming, like a little human glimpse. But for others, it's like an unexpected job interview. It's a lot of pressure.
And that is intentional. The stakes are higher. But look, the real genius of Hinge isn't the prompts. It's the data they collect after the match.
What do you mean?
They actually follow up. They ask users, did you go on a date? And this is the crucial part. Would you see that person again?
Wow. So they're closing the loop.
They're closing the loop. That feedback is gold. They use it to refine their algorithm. They aren't measuring success by a swipe. They're measuring it by the actual date.
That is some seriously high-value data. Okay, and then you have the platforms that cater to audiences that just felt completely left out by the mainstream apps.
Like HR Field.
Right.
Her is a perfect example of building a true sanctuary. It was created by and for queer women and non-binary people. It directly addresses that frustration of being harassed or fetishized on apps that were primarily designed for straight people.
It's about feeling safe and actually seen.
Finally seen, yeah. And then you've got Field, which is fascinating. It's for explorers, for couples, for people interested in non-traditional relationships.
We're talking about things like polyamory, kink.
Relationship anarchy, even. The idea that you consciously define your relationships without traditional rules.
That's a very different user base.
It is. And Field supports them with this incredible inclusivity. I mean, over 20 options for gender and sexuality. But what's really interesting is how they educate their users.
The glossary cards.
The glossary cards, yeah. So if you see a term you don't know, like metamor or compersion, you can just click on it and get a definition right there.
That's such a thoughtful design choice. It lowers the barrier to entry and just makes things less awkward.
It really does. It fosters understanding.
Okay, so those are the strategies the apps use to find their niche. Let's shift gears and talk about what's actually happening inside these systems.
The dynamics, yeah.
Specifically the gender asymmetry. You just can't avoid the statistics.
No, you can't. And this is really the core engine of the whole system. It all rests on a pretty stark statistical reality. On a lot of these big platforms, the user base is just dramatically skewed male. The numbers vary, of course, but for an app like Tinder, some estimates put it as high as 75% male.
75%. So for every woman on the app, there are 3 men. That's a huge supply and demand problem.
It's a monumental difference. Yeah. And that imbalance just immediately sets up a power dynamic. It drives all the behavior.
Okay, so what does that look like in practice?
It means men tend to be, well, hyperactive. The data shows men swipe right on something like 60% of profiles.
60%, just casting a wide net.
Very likely. Women, on the other hand, show what researchers call hyperselectivity.
Which sounds a lot pickier.
It is. They swipe right on only about 4.5% to 5% of profiles.
Wait, hang on. So men are swiping right on more than half, and women are swiping right on less than 1 in 20.
That's it. It's over 10 times more selective. And that changes absolutely everything about the experience of both sides, doesn't it?
It has to.
It puts women in what is, statistically, a much more powerful position. They can afford to be incredibly selective because they have this huge pool of potential matches. So they get to define the rules of the game just by who they approve.
And the men's overactivity is a response to that?
It's partly that and partly the medium itself. You don't have the subtle, non-verbal cues you get in the real world, so you compensate. You send more messages. It's no surprise that something like 80% of all first messages are sent by men.
This all feeds into that classic psychological conflict, right? The safety gap.
The gap between what people say they want and what they actually do, yes.
So when you ask women, they often say they're looking for soft traits, kindness, warmth, stability, things for a long-term partner.
But the app's design, the very interface, it works against that. We're talking about some deep evolutionary psychology.
Yeah.
This idea called the dual mating strategy hypothesis.
Okay, break that down.
Basically, it suggests that humans, and women in particular, are always navigating this trade-off between choosing a partner with, say, strong genes, a signal of fitness, and a partner with reliable resources, a signal of stability and investment.
So the app's design is basically triggering this short-term good genes strategy.
Precisely. The swipe interface is all about the photo. It's a rapid visual judgment. It triggers that quick, instinctive part of the brain where your revealed preferences, what you actually click on, prioritize physical attractiveness, signs of status, dominance.
So the fast visual part of your brain overrides the slower, more thoughtful part that's looking for kindness in a bio.
The bio they might not even read.
Yeah.
It capitalizes on that immediate, superficial evaluation.
That's fascinating, and it explains so much about the frustration women feel. Like, why do so many men put zero effort into their bios?
Because the platform is, in some ways, designed to reward that rapid visual evaluation over deep reading. And this all spills over into motivations for using the apps in the first place.
Right.
Now, the data is complex, but one study sample found that men were statistically more likely than women to say casual sex was a motivation.
What were the numbers on that?
It was something like 80% of men versus 55% of women in that sample.
Yeah.
And even if the difference is only marginally significant in some studies, the perception that men are less intentional is incredibly high.
And that perception is backed up by, just countless user complaints. Women are constantly frustrated with low effort profiles, blurry pictures, only group shots, empty bios.
And then the behavior after the match.
Oh yeah. The immediate push to move off app or just overly sexual opening lines. It really feels like a lot of men are just playing a volume game, not looking for a real connection.
And given all those challenges, the harassment that was so common early on, safety features have become absolutely non-negotiable for any successful app.
It has to be table stakes now.
It is. And for female users, having genuine control over their environment, that is inherently empowering.
And we see real investment there. Things like photo verification are standard on Bumble and Field now. You have to take a real-time selfie to prove you're you.
Which fights catfishing right away.
Right.
It builds a baseline of trust.
And the nudity control is huge.
Crucial. Systems like Bumble's Private Detector or Field's nudity detection, they use AI to automatically detect and blur explicit photos before you even see them.
So you're in control. You can choose to see it or just delete and block.
Exactly. And the user who feels safe is way more likely to keep using the app and, actually go on a date.
But let's circle back to Bumble's whole premise of empowerment, that women make the first move feature. That's always been up for debate, hasn't it?
It really is a profound double-edged sword. On one hand, for a lot of women, starting the conversation is genuinely empowering. It feels good, confident.
But on the other hand,
Critics argue it's just a form of controlled agency. The app gives you permission to make the first move, but by making it mandatory, it doesn't feel like true freedom. It feels like you're just following a different set of rules that the platform made up.
and doesn't that just push all the cognitive labor back onto women? If men are swiping right on everyone, then women are left to do all the work of sifting through dozens of matches and then having to come up with an opener for every single one.
That's the critique. Exactly. The design, while it's aiming for equality, kind of ends up mirroring traditional gender labor dynamics. Men get the benefit of high match volume, and women get the burden of filtering and managing all the conversations.
And this friction, this whole dynamic is completely tangled up with the business model.
Inseparable from it.
At the end of the day, these are businesses. They are designed to keep you on the app, to keep you engaged, maybe even a little addicted to that what if.
And to get you to upgrade to their premium subscriptions, your Bumble Platinums, your Cur Golds. This creates that fundamental, inescapable conflict with their marketing.
They say they want to help you find a relationship so you can delete the app.
But their revenue depends on you not deleting the app.
And that's where the user frustration just boils over, isn't it? When you realize the tools that would actually help you are locked behind a paywall.
The essential filtering tools, things that would give you real autonomy, like advanced search filters or better visibility, they're routinely put behind these really expensive paywalls.
It makes it feel like empowerment has a price tag. If you want to use the app efficiently and cut through all the noise that the system itself creates, you have to pay up.
And that just breeds this deep distrust in the algorithm. I've seen user reviews where people swear that as soon as they canceled their premium subscription, their profile suddenly got a mysterious boost in visibility.
To lure you back in.
Whether it's true or not, the perception is that the platform is manipulating things to manage its revenue, not to genuinely help you find a match.
So after all that, what's the big takeaway for you, the user?
I think our deep dive shows that the apps that actually won Bumble, Hinge, the niche ones like HRR, they succeeded because they solved a real problem for a specific group. They offered control, or they simplified choice, or they guaranteed intentionality. It shows that the market demands a really precise match between what a user wants and what the platform is designed to do.
Absolutely.
And you have to remember, whether you're the hyper-selective swiper or the one casting a wide net, you are operating inside a really complex system. It's built on evolutionary psychology, market asymmetry, and a very, very powerful business strategy.
You're not just looking for love. You're interacting with a heavily engineered social machine.
You really are.
Which brings us to our final provocative thought for you to chew on. We know technology has this profound influence on mating behavior. And there's that old saying, right, that every new technology is first used for something related to sex or stalking. So we have to think about what's next. We're already seeing sophisticated AI utilize this. AI matchmakers, tools that write your profile for you, algorithms that claim they know what you want better than you do.
So the question becomes, how will that increasing intelligence, that efficiency of AI, how will it interact with our ancient, sex dimorphic evolutionary strategies? Will AI actually optimize dating for genuine romance, for that deep, complex human connection? Or will it just optimize for engagement and cold efficiency, creating a search that's more streamlined, but maybe profoundly more hollow?
That's the question to think about the next time you let an algorithm make a decision about your love life.